What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 31 of Light of the Asur, our attempts to stabilize the Great Vortex and pretty much stave off the forces of evil. So we've been dealing with a lot of enemies over the last little bit, and we've chased Yvresse back to Yvresse. We have Phoenix with a very underrated army, and Sunshine going up to help him out now. Didn't go over well for us the first time. But we are still holding firm in Lothern. Still doing well across the map, all things considered. We do have a city in Arnheim out here. I think that it should be able to hold off on its own for a little while, but I'm not too concerned. Of course, up in the north we have the good Chaplain and Fady Lace doing their thing, trying to keep things on track. It's a little weird, all things considered, that we've been able to hold on to these cities for as long as we have. If we could build up a little bit more force here, we might be able to take on Nagron, but the garrison there is rather significant, including a Black Dragon. That kind of worries me. 4 units of Blackguard and Nagron doesn't help our cause out anyway, and they've got Cold One Dread Knights, Bolt Throwers. It's just a very large obstacle to overcome. We do have a couple of cities that we could upgrade, but right now we're more concerned with going around. We do have one of our lords that we inherited off in the distance here, going after random little things out in the water. Still amazed at how well the Lord Masters have done throughout the campaign. Granted, they're kind of just there to draw attention away from Ulthuan and what we're doing. We haven't even engaged the Bretonnians, the errantry wars that are out here, or the dwarves that are down south. We do have Yvresse going out and collecting more resources out in the water. Latania and a couple other generals are kind of holding the coast. We have lost a fair number of heroes during the campaign, which has sucked, but has been necessary for the most part.
What would you have of me?
It's only going to get darker as we go along. I don't really want to upgrade any of the settlements right now, so we're just going to hand things over to the other nations and see what they do. Speaking of the other nations, Teclis, what are you going to get up to? Now, as of time of recording, we're still a few hours away from the release of 3 new legendary lords and a whole smattering of new units. We're getting the Everqueen, Alariel, and that's going to be just awesome. I have been chomping at the bit for the longest time to see the Everqueen actually brought into the game. She's such a big figure in the lore, and her Maiden Guard are absolutely fantastic. When you guys are watching this, it'll be out now, and I do recommend it. CA has done a good job of adding the legendary lords with the packs they've brought in, so it's worth it. But along with that, we're also getting Celebron? I think that's her name? I could be wrong. She is the crone of everything that's put in there. And of course, while I'm doing this, I'm ripping into my copy of the Sundering. Because, well, it's what I do. I hadn't really planned this too well this week. I've been feeling the greatest. It is Celebron. And she started out as pretty much nothing, and became one of the foremost worshippers of Cain. We're getting all of her sorceress-style units and devotees of Cain. It's going to add a lot more depth to the Druchii side of things. But as a special added bonus, when the Queen and the Crone comes out, we're also getting the Shadow King, Aelith and Nar. I cannot overstate how excited I am about that. He is one of my favorite elven heroes within the Warhammer Fantasy universe. He is incredibly bold, and he's the 3rd crown for the whole 3 crowns idea. Phoenix Crown, of course, belonging to Finnebar the Seafarer, the Iron Crown to Malekith, But the Shadow Crown belongs to Aelith Anar, and he's going to start off in Nagaroth. He's going to be just like the other two ladies we're getting, usable in both the Vortex campaign and in the Mortal Empires campaign. And once we are done with the Light of the Azure, and we've either succeeded in stabilizing the Great Vortex or blown up horribly, I'm going to be continuing another playthrough of this game because it's a lot of fun and I get to inject a lot of you guys into it, so the battles mean a lot more. There's a whole narrative that gets built up around everything, so there's definitely a major bonus there for that. Of course, if you guys want to see something different other than High Elves, I'm thinking either Bretonnians or something along those lines. Something on the old world for a Mortal Empires campaign. But if you want to see something different, just let me know. I'd rather play a good guy race than a bad guy race, but I'm pretty open for everything. So if you have an opinion, please leave it in the comments down below, and I'll take it into extreme consideration when we're doing all this. But we're getting those 3 legendary lords, a whole smattering of new units, which you guys are probably already playing and having fun with. I'm probably out of the, quote, office, end quote, doing some running around town right now while you're listening, so I'm super jealous of all you guys that are getting to play. Alright, so we had some units assaulted, some technology stolen. Success stolen? That doesn't even make sense. And defeat Otali of the Last Defenders. We don't really want to fight the Lizardmen, but we'll send Fëanor over to start scouting all these areas out. Again, I would like to take Val's Anvil. It's a ritual source and would definitely hurt the Druchii and slow them down. They're a full measure behind us when it comes to all the rituals and everything, but if we can slow them down even more, that's just grand. So Erethrond, we're going to swing you out. We'll grab this, swing down, and then back up towards the mainland. Some experience for you and some coin, and it's the coin we're really after. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we want to do for you. I mean, you don't really get engaged that much, but we'll give you a hard to hit. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. I don't know if that Lizardman army stack is still chasing him. Looks like they kind of are. And it's a full army stack of lizards. It's actually the general we have to beat if we want to do that, but I don't really think we should. Well, let's see if our mage can wound one of their heroes. This is one of the mages we inherited, obviously, by the amount of technology that she has unlocked for the bottom rung.
Can I offer assistance?
So Sunshine, you're still recovering a bit. Phoenix, we've got you some more spearmen and some more archers. We'll give it one more turn with you, then we'll go after Yvresse. So we're looking for things that can be recruited in a single turn. You don't have a lot of cavalry, but let's grab at least a couple of Great Eagles. Maybe a couple of bolt throwers will help you out. And why not? One more unit of spearmen. We'll assault the walls of Yvresse pretty easily. Now I've been putting off raising up the Shrine of Loek and Cairnthel because, well, the city whose name I cannot pronounce has kind of gone off the deep end on us. But Kothique, let's see if we can get a non-aggression pact with them. Apparently we can't. They do really like us, though. I'd love to confederate with them, but that would give us all of this to hang on to. It would give us their armies, though, which wouldn't be too terribly bad. See if we can get a non-aggression pact with the Fortress of Dawn. Apparently we can't do that either. And we are kind of starting towards the end. We're not too many fragments off. We're getting 51 turn, so at this rate, excluding us completing any missions or anything, it'll only be a few more turns, maybe 10, before we're good. More like 12. But if we do complete a couple of these... Where is the Altar of the Horned Rat? That's all the way down south. And it's owned by a Lizardman faction. Don't really want to fight them. So instead, we're going to take the Shrine of Loek and we're going to upgrade it. And Cairnthel. Might as well. Bump that up a little bit too. Doesn't hurt us at all. Now Latania has got another point, so let's give her seeking arrows. She's kind of screwy as far as her talent points have gone, all things considered. But we can get the Hall of Charioteers, which is going to help us out overall. It does increase public order and experience for chariot recruits. However, the next level of it, go in here, Palace of Tiranoc, reduces the upkeep for all chariot units and gives them a lot more experience and increases the income and public order of the territory. So it's not too bad. All of the major capital buildings on Ulthuan are worth investing in at one point or another. The Ancient Waystone was done really early on, not too bad there. It's the Hall of Dragons for Calidor that's the really big thing. 25% reduction in upkeep for all dragon units. That's a lot of gold we'll save every turn. As well as them being cheaper to recruit. So as soon as we're able to upgrade Calidor, we probably should. Now Calidor's repose is up in the mountains. We already have the eggs maxed out, so let's give them some fields. I think it's fields. Homestead. And we'll try to upgrade this as much as we can. 11 more turns until we have the ability to build a Tor, then we can build a Dragon Keep. We already have a bunch of the other things situated around here. The Shrine of Azeran, of course, has its thing. Injurial doesn't really have a special building, but that's fine too. Keep forgetting that these are broken into two separate regions. And here we do have the Straits of Lothern, which we can build as soon as we have 10,000 gold, so a few turns if we want to wait on it. And it's going to give us a lot of income, some growth, more tradable resources, and a lot of experience for Lothern Seaguard. But we do have the Court of the Phoenix King. A lot more Lord Recruit rank, and gives us an influence per turn, so it does really help out. But speaking of turns, I don't think there's much more we can do for this one, so let's go on to the other nations for this turn. I forgot to move Elair manually, we'll have to do that next time. And I keep forgetting about Felindre. I always forget about the guys and gals we have out on the ocean. It's not that they're forgettable, it's just that they're way out there. It would be really interesting to see how the new mechanics for Aelithanar, he's not like the other legendary lords, he focuses a lot on ambush and stealth. So more like the Skaven and vampire counts and that sort of stuff than how High Elves play, but he gets big bonuses to ambush and big bonuses to... Wow. Okay, looks like Hexoatl is picking a fight, kind of. Fëanor's wounded again. Be 4 more turns until she gets back into the fight. Forgot where I was going with that line of thought. I really do. Dang the lizard men for making me lose my mind. Oh, right, Aelithanar. He focuses a lot more on the ambush style of gameplay. His armies get bonuses to global recruitment, from what I've read anyway, and he gets bonuses to shadows, so that's a big bonus for him considering how he plays out. Lots of mobile, highly anticipated armies. The part that is really convenient for me, and I don't know if it's going to be done through the heroes or if it's going to be a battle thing, but just like we have a mission right now to go and kill Olatl or Otidal or whatever the Lizardmen hero's name is, the Lord's name, we have a mission to go out and take care of him. Well, Aelithanar is going to get similar style of missions where he'll gain things like influence and gold, and a special kind of mission for him, essentially, that deals with taking care of enemy lords. I'm not too sure how it's going to play out, but it would be fun to see. Spina Sotek dwarves are still hanging on. Pretty much every other playthrough I've done of the Vortex campaign, because that's where the Spina Sotek dwarves come into play, they get wiped out really, really easily. I'm not too sure what's going on with them in that case, but This round, they've definitely been a distraction and kept things off of our sight. That didn't make sense. They basically kept things in the south, because with Skaven at war with them and all that, it's pretty damn good. So Feanor's wounded, and we researched great weapons. So our Phoenix Guards, Swordmasters, and White Lions are going to do a lot more. So Felindre, I think, was the one that we were going to send up towards Arnheim. Deal with that. I'm worried about this Black Ark. It definitely outclasses us as far as might on the oceans goes. So we'll give Felindre another rank in Deadeye, which will help out a little bit. Can't block the army there. But we can go back in and siege it. So Phoenix, we're going to get you back to normal stance and go siege Yvresse. A couple of siege towers. We do have a banner for speed. Give that to our Illyrian archers. We'll continue the siege there. But in this case, since Sunshine's on one of our beautiful dragons, we're going to get her to come in close to be reinforcing. Send her back to encamp. And you know what? This mage, she only has Shem's Engage, but not Gauge. We'll get her to jump in with Phoenix, and that'll help us out a lot. Now we have a lot of options for what we can do for our technology. I don't know how many more turns we have left, though. I know we have about 10 before we can do the final ritual. But you know what? I really like the Dragon Princes, but we don't use a lot of them. So what can we do to upgrade our... Well, there we go. Magical infusions. That'll help our Phoenix Guard, and we're going to be using a lot more of them if we can do it properly. I'd love to get the palace for this, but it's not really a big deal right now. We do have a couple of units of Dragon Princes there. But I think what we're going to need to do is get another Lord into play. Because, well, it's going to be a big deal later on. And we have one that's got Dragon Willed. You know what? We can use this as a nice support army. And I have another member of the 2-3 to put in here. Vincat, you're going to be our Dragon Lordling. I'll give you a Steed, the Speed of Azeran, Sword Player, and Hard to Hit to start. I don't think we can really do much with you this turn. No, we can actually do a fair bit. So we've got to be careful with what we have left for gold. We're only making 1467 per turn. So we'll start off with your typical 2 and 2, but the big thing we're going to do is grab a Star Dragon. Should help out a little bit. Eulair, where did you end up? There you are. So now, if I remember correctly, we were going to grab this one and then go grab the Skull Island. Prescience doesn't hurt. And a Scroll of Leeching. It's not a bad magical item, but we don't use a lot of mages. So it's kind of a non-starter. And Erathron will get you to go out here, check out this Remnants of Battle, grab the Skull Reef, and then head back inland. We might actually get you to come in and do some fighting in the Southlands in Lustria, which are two separate places, but I kind of conflated them together right there, so we'll see. I don't really think there's much else we can do on this turn. I would love to see the good Chaplain and Fady Lace pop in and just slap Nagarond, but I don't think it's going to happen, all things considered. I'll grab those furs while we're at it. What can we do in Grand? Some more gold. That doesn't hurt. We're still losing a lot of public order due to the corruption in this area. Do we even... We do have Senina up here. We could send her out in front to kind of bring down the corruption a little bit. That's pretty much my prize right there, though. The Black Citadel of Nagarond. And he does have the Towers of the Blackguard installed in the city, so... yeah. It's about as strong as it can possibly be without, you know, an army stack in it. Let's let the other nations do their thing and see where it ends up. I keep looking back at the Sundering trilogy, which I have the omnibus for. It's currently sitting in my hands. You can probably hear me flipping the pages. It's a great story with the 2 short stories in the middle. It talks about Malekith's early years, talks about Aelith and Nar, and him being the Shadow King, and about Caelador, well, Imric, who became Caelador. It's such a good, well-written story. Just a few parts where if you're not big into the universe, it kind of loses you a little bit, but it doesn't go off tangent for too long. Especially once you consider that elves have incredibly long lifespans. Our good man Teclis down in Lustria is the same Teclis that taught all the first human magisters magic generations ago. So, there's that. Tyrion's the same. Aelith and Nar was there before the Sundering of Ulthuan. Malekith is of course immortal, but I don't know if that really counts. His is a pretty tortured existence. Now, it looks like Yvresse decided not to sally forth. They did that to us last time, but I think having a dragon princess on our side this time kind of dissuaded them. It's actually been kind of a riot down in Lustria. Lizardmen, the Orders of Lore Masters, Skaven. Thankfully, the Skaven are so far out of the ritual running that I don't think they're going to catch up. But you never know. They could go on a very, very massive campaign and take over all of Lustria. I doubt that'll happen considering the size and quality of the army Sax Teclis is running down there, and the fact that the Lizardmen don't like them and are fairly well set themselves. It will be kind of exciting to go into a Mortal Empires campaign. I keep saying Mortal's Empire. Mortal Empires. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. But it'll be exciting to see the other nations come into the fray. It's a lot more nations to deal with. I mean, just the Empire provinces alone add a fair number to this. So Rana's back in action. And all the way around there. So Mom the Doge, you've gained another level. Keep working up towards more Soul Quench, because it's pretty much the best spell you have access to right now, at least as far as magic missiles go. And Maya, you're kind of in the same situation, but you've got Tempest, which works against a lot of airborne threats. So I'll give you Lilith's Blessing. And apologies if I sound a little bit more tired than usual, guys. Kind of been a long couple of days here, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Defender of the Everqueen.
So we do have Vincats gathering up a dragon. That'll take us down to about 400 gold coming in every turn. But that's okay, Vincat's going to support me while I bounce around and hopefully deal with the chaos stacks that will come up when we get to the Ritual of the Defender. We're not too far off. 455? I want to say my math is right on that, but it could be entirely wrong.
I'm listening.
And we do have Sheena Yan with her more veterans troops, including some veteran Phoenix Guard, sitting right there, ready to go. Is Ingmir not inside the city? I thought he was. No, he's definitely inside the city. Guess I just misclicked, which, of course, does happen. Yeah, I think it's kind of build up right now. I don't see us having too much more to deal with. We do have to deal with Thorndray and Islair, I think it is, out in the ocean.
The winds are rising.
We want to get 50-50 shot on this. failed.
A mighty warrior.
Senina, you are immortal, so I'm not too worried. But we'll grab you a point in Cleanse Corruption. I think that's pretty much all we wanted you to have there. So we'll get you to start cleansing this area as best you can. If it gets a rebellion in it, then it gets a rebellion in it and we'll have to deal with it. It's currently losing corruption, which is always a good thing. We don't have any rites that we really want to cast right now. We'll be doing some of these as we get into the ritual, but nothing overt right now.
Your request?
The whole idea here, Felindre, because they have a lot of troops on the ocean, pull you in tight to the coast and then try and slip you between the two Black Arcs and back to Arnheim. We'll get you to strike out from there. Just trying to avoid the Black Arcs because they're tough. More so when they have army stacks in them, but the Black Arcs just on their own are incredibly powerful. So it's always worth keeping a wide berth, being a little bit more cautious than you'd normally be if it was just an army stack on the water. We may not even get a fight this time. That's going to be a little disappointing. Unless Yvresse decides to sally out. One thing I found the strangest out of all of this is the fact that we've been at war with the last defenders. It shouldn't be surprising, because while they are good guys, they are under the command of the premier warrior the lizardmen have, Krokgar. So, why I'm surprised that they're wanting to fight us is really the only thing that's surprising. It's kind of what they were meant to do. What is that Black Arc doing? It only moves a little bit. I think it's trying to keep us on the outskirts. We might slip Elair in behind while he's chasing Felindre up the coast. Like I've said a couple of times, I'd love to confederate with Kothique to get access to their lord and all their armies, but that's more places we could possibly have to defend when the next invasion happens. And I'd really rather not have to spread out even more than we are. We don't have that many generals. A lot of brave heroes have given their lives for the cause. Losing Will and Auric in the same battle, though, that was kind of painful. They were well-founded, well-funded troops, and we kind of cast them away to stop the Chaos Forces from moving down the coast. Alright, so you want a non-aggression pact. You're at war with the Druki. Trade agreements with the Lore Masters, Hexodal, and I'm not going to try that tonight. Is Slan Huapek? Maybe? I don't know. But defensive allies and military allies, you know what? It's okay if we ally with you. Well, get non-aggression anyway. It's one less person we have to deal with as we push our way up the coast and all that sort of stuff, and it might give us a safe harbor for some of our lords that are out on the water. So assault units and some steel technology.
Sailing away.
And a ward save, a talisman of endurance, and we do have the lovely gold that's come from that. Not sure what the admiral there is going to do.
What would you have of me? Setting sail.
But we're going to rely on him being a little foolish.
Asur guides us.
What hero hasn't moved? Oh yes, Senina,
Shyish come forth.
who's apparently incapable of wounding anyone. Alright, so Vincat, yeah, we're down to 190 gold a turn. That's okay, we're just going to get you to encamp. We'll get the Straits of Lothern. Definitely going to help out a little bit. Karen Thel. Some gold, some more tradable resources. Gotta love it when you see it. Now let's check in on Yvresse. How many turns did it have left before it succumbs to... 6 more turns till it succumbs to attrition. It's the last place that I actually want to conquer before we start focusing entirely on the ritual. And a spell shield. Where did that last defender's army end up? It's still back tight to the coast. I'm almost curious, can we maybe get a peace treaty? Oh, it's not letting me double click into the diplomacy window, so they do not like us because of the rites and rituals that we've completed. Wow, that's the same for all of the lizardmen, it appears. Guess that's one way to counteract it. If you're in a place where you're able to really sink your teeth into building up your ritual resources, then everybody else doesn't like you because your rituals are ahead. Means that there's more chance for war. Yeah, it looks like it's the same for all of the hostile factions. Well, hostile factions that have a ritual involved with them. I'm guessing it's going to be the same for the Druki. Yep. Minus 100. It's sad that we're going from 312 to 311, and it's an improvement, technically, but why? It's just a little goofy, in my opinion. I don't really think there's much else we can do right now. We might as well upgrade Carenthal, though. We do have the coin for it. The gates I'm not too sure about. We don't have any idea where the next Chaos Invasion is going to come from. You know what? We'll upgrade the Griffin Gate at the very least. It's right between Eagle and Phoenix or Unicorn. Yeah, it's the central gate on the western side of the island, so not a bad thing. I think we'll maybe get one more turn in after this for this week. And of course I forgot about Rana, which I want to do. Level 26 noble doesn't even have a horse. Odd choices. I don't know what it is with the other elven nations and their fascination with great eagles. It's like the 3rd or 4th army now that we've seen that's had at least 3. Granted, those great eagles do work. Give them something easy to fight. Excuse me. Yeah, like I said, it's been a very long week. So I'm sounding a little bit off. I apologize. It's just how it's been so far. I think Torquerali is the one that has the undersea castle. It's basically Atlantis. It's Aquaman's home. Dun dun dun. Okay, that was bad. But still, one of them on the eastern coast there has an underground or undersea palace, and it's a unique little addition to the entire mythos. With Aelith and Ar coming in, I'm curious if we're going to get to see the NR holds and all that sort of stuff. Be interesting to find out. And again, the pirates are just being pirates. No rhyme, no reason. Keeps assaulting our units and winning. Can't really afford much. But 750 is well within our ability to pay, and Phoenix gains solitary.
Death comes for them.
Sanina, you gotta start hitting the mark. You're killing me here by not killing that guy. Okay, there is a skull reef in there too. There's one right there now too.
Can I offer assistance?
Hopefully we stay out of range of the last defender's fleets that are up there. Granted, that is kind of a throwaway force, so I'm not terribly worried.
Land ahoy!
Loyal subject. Setting sail.
That could be the end of Philendre, because she's now in range of 2 Black Arcs. But if we lose her, I'm not too heartbroken. She was inherited from another force, so it's not that bad a deal. Trying to think though. I mean, we're getting really close on the way fragments we need for this ritual. Hexodal, Pestilence, and the Druki haven't advanced their 4th one yet though. That's kind of weird. I don't know what they're doing. They should have at least initiated the 4th one by now. Who knows? But we'll let the other nations take one more round through this, and then we'll see where we're looking for the whole timeline in this. Weird seeing the Star Tower in the hands of anyone but Teclis. Which is kind of funny, there's 2 settlements on that side of everything in the Mortal Empires campaign. But there's only 1 in the Vortex campaign. The Vortex map is larger, so there's that. And wow, that last Defender's army can motor. Back to Tread expansion? Okay then. Here's a rather large clan pestilence force. A lot of rats. It looks like Hexoatl is gonna have another mage priest. That was Lord Skrolk too. Their legendary lord and faction leader. Guess since Clan Moors got destroyed, he's been running the whole show here. Agent of the Council of 13? What is Sarah doing? And it looks like one of our mages got wounded. I think that was the one that we just put into Phoenix's force. Which isn't bad, because he's going to get a lore, or a sword master. Lore master? Lore master of Hoeth. Not too distant future. That's a little lizard on a very big lizard. Stegodons and ancient Stegodons always kind of creep me out a little bit. They're huge. And yet they're being commanded by the smallest of the lizardmen. Everything's about lizards on lizards with them. Pterodon riders, Stegodons, Carnosaurs, cold ones. Yeah, but such is the mounting situation when you're dealing with giant reptiles, who are led by giant magic-casting frogs. All that aside, I actually really like the backstory for the lizard men. I have a lot of respect for their Scar veteran and everything, but you never know. Like, there's just a lot that's weird out in that section. But with that, guys, we're coming into another turn. We're getting very, very close to activating our final ritual. So few way shards left. And I think that's probably going to be a good place to call it for this week. I know it's a little bit on the short side, and not much went on. I mean, we collected a bunch of stuff from the water, built up our cities, got Vincad into the deal, and, well, he's going to have a dragon at least to help us fight off chaos. Yvresse is under siege, and our mages are running around getting wounded. A lot. But if you liked the video, guys, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly see your name popping up in a Let's Play, or just to be part of our community, just hit that subscribe button. And make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes up. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.